Hello, friends. Cowboy Jobu here at the Jobu Report. And as always, thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Report. We just got finished live streaming, and thank each and every one of you guys that followed along, called in, and supported the show. Now, let's go through the game recap of the New York Giants versus the Green Bay Packers. And poor Odell. Odell is now on vacation. Too bad he went on vacation a week early. Let's roll the tape.
On to take on the Dallas Cowboys next Sunday in the divisional round. Why isn't he allowed to talk to me? What happened there?
I don't know what happened there. You never said nothing about Wayne.
No, I didn't. No.
Because he has a wonderful memory. He don't forget anything. This is a man who doesn't write down lyrics and just spit them out of his head. But I'll find out about that. But you're a good guy, Chris.
Thanks,
you're
Rob.
You're a great guy.
I'll tell you who's good at football. Aaron Rodgers. And the first 25 minutes of this game, give Giants secondary credit. They were covering Green Bay's receivers. There was no rhythm. And then the last 35, I mean, that's what shows that he is arguably the best quarterback in the game today.
Arguably. He really is. You would think when you lose someone like Jordy Nelson, your offense is going to suffer. You really don't have a bona fide running game. You have a receiver out there playing running back, doing the best that he can, and he really can do it. But with the ball in this man's hand, anything is possible. And that's why we as athletes, former athletes as well as current, we adore Aaron Rodgers.
So when I think about Aaron, what comes to my mind, guys, is pocket presence. So it doesn't matter what's going on around him. He seems to be able to still find a window. But I'll say this. That game changed to me when DRC went out the game. When Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie got hurt, and they really couldn't match up with these receivers from Green Bay. That's when you really saw Aaron Rodgers start to pick these guys apart, TD.
I think really somewhere along the way, later in the football game, the Giants' defensive line got tired. Or something happened because they didn't get the pressure on him in the second half that they did in the first half. If you look, they were able to come away with 4 or 5 sacks in this football game, but a lot of that happened in the first half. And when you look at the time that he had in the second half of this football game, that proved to be the difference down the stretch.
Rodgers hasn't thrown a pick in nearly 300 passes.
Wow.
285 straight. We had Calais Campbell in that seat last night. He told us that Rodgers is the toughest quarterback for him to prepare for. You see it the same way?
No question, because he's a guy that you go into a game with a game plan on whether you want to keep a quarterback in the pocket or whether you want to get him off his spot and make him get out of the pocket, because a lot of quarterbacks are uncomfortable getting out of the pocket. When you're playing against Aaron Rodgers, you got to pick your poison, because if you force him out of the box, he's a guy that's going to get out of the pocket and he's going to put the pass on the money. And that's one thing as a defense you have to understand he's going to be able to do.
All right, one more quick one. The Giants were right there. I mean, if they're not kicking field goals and they're scoring touchdowns, I don't know if the outcome's different, but they're certainly not losing by 25 points. When you're on the road, you've got to put points on the board, don't you, LT?
Especially when you're playing against this group. But you know what? That's what the Packers defense has been good at. They'll give up yards from 20 to 20, guys. From 20, but when they get down in the red zone, they're able to hold people out of the end zone as well as get timely sacks and turnovers. They have done that all year. And, you certainly can't kick field goals on the road.
All right, guys.
Big time players got to make big time plays in big time games, man.
Yeah.
We've been saying that for over 2 centuries now, and that has to happen. When you look at the Green Bay Packers, Adams, 8 receptions for $125. You got Odell, 4 receptions for 28 yards. That tells a wonderful story right there, whether you watch the game or not.
So the Packers are moving on to face the Dallas Cowboys. That one is going to be a great one. That'll wrap up divisional play next weekend in Arlington. We'll break down that game and much more coming your way. But first, right now, it's time to focus on the road to the Super Bowl presented by Mercedes-Benz. So here's the picture in the NFC. Seattle at Atlanta, Saturday, 4:35 Eastern on Fox. Then Sunday to wrap up divisional round action, the Packers and the Cowboys. Once again, that's a rematch. The game's early.